Let the Right One and director swore this scene was cut, but we found it. What does it reveal about the ending? You won't believe your eyes that the film opens with a boy named Oskar, who is seen practicing to take revenge. He had always been bullied by other kids and never dared to stand up for himself. At night, he would fantasize about getting back at them, and just imagining revenge would bring him comfort and joy. One evening, while lost in these thoughts, Oskar notices a girl his age through his apartment window. Her name is Ellie, and she had just moved into the neighborhood with an older man. Oskar isn't particularly interested in them and goes to sleep with a knife under his pillow. The next day, the new neighbors begin covering their windows, raising some suspicion. The man with Ellie is named Håkan. That evening, we see Håkan doing something horrifying. He traps a man in the woods, hangs him upside down, slits his throat, and starts collecting his blood. Before he can finish, a dog and its owner show up, forcing Håkan to flee and abandon his grisly task. Meanwhile, Oskar continues to train for his revenge outdoors when Ellie sees him. Without Oskar saying a word, Ellie coldly tells him, "I can't be your friend." Oskar finds this strange, as he hadn't even spoken to her yet. He also notices she's wearing very little despite the snowy weather. Later, Ellie scolds Håkan for failing to bring back blood, revealing a disturbing dependency. The following day, the news of the murder committed by Håkan spreads throughout the town. Oskar's mother becomes paranoid and urges him to return home early, but Oskar is fascinated by murder stories. He secretly leaves the house again, and Ellie approaches him as he's solving a Rubik's Cube. Curious, she learns from him. Oskar, noticing her odd smell and lack of warm clothing, questions her, but she brushes it off. He lends her the cube and heads home. As she watches him leave, Ellie's face briefly appears older and ravenous. That cut to another scene. A couple walks across a bridge when one of their friends, Pit Hell, waves goodbye. A man is approached by a girl asking for help, but she suddenly leaps at him and drinks his blood. It turns out to be Ellie, confirming that she is a vampire. Her earlier behavior and Håkan's actions now make sense. Håkan kills to feed Ellie. Later, Oskar overhears an argument between Ellie and Håkan. Meanwhile, the friend who witnessed Ellie's attack informs his group, but when they reach the scene, the only thing left is blood. Håkan had thrown the body into a river to hide the crime. At school, Oskar starts feeling an odd attachment to Ellie. When he doesn't see her outside, he's disappointed. However, that night, Ellie meets him again. They exchange names and ages. Ellie hesitates before claiming she's 12, though it's clear she's much older. Oskar teaches her Morse code so they can talk through their shared wall. One evening, Oskar is attacked by bullies at school. One even cuts his face with a blade. He tells Ellie what happened, and she encourages him to fight back, even telling him to kill them if necessary. Oskar finds Ellie's support comforting. He brings her a cookie to eat, but she vomits it out, unable to digest human food. Still, Oskar hugs her before leaving to visit his father. Ellie asks him a strange question. "If I'm not a girl, will you still like me?" Oskar doesn't understand and gives no reply. That night, Ellie tells Håkan she's starving. Håkan goes to a children's basketball camp, finds a boy in the restroom, and tries to capture him. When the boy screams, others rush in, and Håkan is forced to harm himself to avoid suspicion. He ends up in the hospital, where Ellie visits him. Knowing he's dying and wanting to help her survive, Håkan sacrifices himself by letting her feed on him. Afterward, he falls out of a window to make it look like an accident. Ellie later visits Oskar and sleeps beside him. Oskar asks if she'll be his friend, and this time, Ellie says yes, but adds, "I'm not a girl." Oskar is confused but accepts it. The next morning, Ellie is gone, leaving a note. "Either I stay or I leave." Oskar, now emboldened, stands up to the school bullies during a field trip and even strikes one back with a stick. Meanwhile, the frozen body from earlier is discovered in the river, and the town is shaken and excited. Oskar rushes to tell Ellie about his bravery. During their conversation, Oskar cuts his hand to show loyalty, but Ellie becomes overwhelmed by the sight of blood and runs away. She climbs a tree and waits for a new victim. Soon, she attacks a man, but is interrupted and kicked off. The man survives, and Ellie flees again. Oskar, at his father's house, feels lost without Ellie and returns to his mother's. Meanwhile, Virginia, the woman Ellie attacked, begins turning into a vampire. She visits a neighbor filled with cats, but the animals attack her, sensing her transformation. She escapes and ends up in the hospital. Oskar visits Ellie and finally asks her if she's a vampire. She answers yes. When asked if she's dead, she replies no. Oskar worries she's poor and alone, but Ellie shows him treasure and wealth taken from her victims. She offers him money, but all Oskar wants is friendship. He leaves quietly. In the hospital, Virginia tells her friend to kill Ellie and then opens a window, allowing sunlight to burn her alive, choosing death over her cursed new life. That night, Ellie comes to Oskar's house and asks if she can enter. Oskar jokingly refuses. As Ellie begins bleeding from every orifice, Oskar quickly allows her in, saving her. She then reveals her true age form to him. Oskar's mom nearly discovers Ellie, so he helps Ellie sneak back through the window. That night, he goes to Ellie's place and they spend the night talking. In the morning, he finds a note. "I like you, Oskar. See you tonight." He's overjoyed. That night, Ellie's enemy comes to kill her. He sneaks in her washroom where she's hiding. Oskar sees him and attacks with a knife. Ellie awakens, kills the man, and hugs Oskar in gratitude. But now it's no longer safe. Ellie says she must leave or be caught. Later, Oskar receives a call at school. His classmates invite him to the swimming pool, pretending to be friendly. But it's a trap. The main bully brings his older brother, who forces Oskar underwater, threatening to drown him. As Oskar starts to lose consciousness, we see the bully's severed head fall into the water. Ellie had come to rescue him, killing everyone except one boy who had never harmed Oskar. The final scene shows Oskar on a train with a large box. Ellie is inside, hidden from daylight. Now, the two are running away together. Knowing they can't live without each other, the movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Still confused about the ending? Don't worry, even the actors were. Let's argue about it below, and hit subscribe for more chaos. Thanks for watching.